There's so much space in that compartment.
Yeah, they did a great job. It was a nice looking bike, and they definitely
Needed a bigger engine.
yeah, and so did mine.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, they were great bikes, and what an interesting combination too, that they were both blue Suzukis.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty far out. So yeah, so in 2017, my good friend John and I both got our motorcycle licenses.
Woohoo!
Yeah, and we both got not our. Well, it was my first bike. It wasn't his first bike, but we both got a bike, and we decided we were gonna go to Wasaga Beach.
Yeah, and note how shiny and clean the bikes look at the beginning of the video.
Yeah, that's a good point. And we didn't get rained on in this trip, though. That was the next time we went. We got.
But we got dusty.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, you're parallel with
All right, good. You're full.
Sick.
I'll throw this one in the dump.
But I should have crossed.
Am I rapping here?
You are.
I'm actually rapping?
You are.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So,
Tell me about your boots.
yo, my boots, they Joe Rockets. I bought them from eBay. I gotta spend my money, so I go to work to get paid.
That works.
Relax. This road trip up north. Stress free. You recording?
Yep. Testing it out. What?
Long bike ride, motherfuckers.
That's it. First and possibly only bike trip of 2017. So
Possibly only because the season's ending.
that's it. Not
That's the
because
only reason.
not because we're giving up.
Yeah.
No way.
Recording. Stevie, mount up. Let's do this, bitches.
You have a motorcycle rap video of me?
Yeah. Well, I'll
There's a motorcycle rap video of me actually.
when we're not recording, I'll let you hear it and see whether or not you want to.
Kind of like Drake on the bike, eh?
You can decide whether or not you want to put it in. It was pretty good. It wasn't,
Well, it wasn't no record signing.
Yeah, it wasn't a. Yeah. It was nice though. Yeah. One of the funniest things I noted while doing this, while editing this video, this footage, is that we spent a lot of time going around in circles, and I spent a lot of time trying to figure out where the hell we were, because I had plotted a route which looked to incorporate a lot of interesting driving roads, which I wanted to see, and we did. For the most part, we met pretty much all the objectives that I had set out with, and that was great. But without a GPS, and I know GPS is kind of a cheat in a way, but it's really important to know where you are. But yeah, so we set off.
No masks, no COVID masks.
No, that was so. This was in 2017. I think I forgot to mention that. But
No, you said at the beginning.
okay, good. Well,
I was just making it funny. It says 2016 in the corner.
I know that
Our date was shit.
the date stamps on those cameras.
Every time the batteries changed, went back to 000.
Yeah. So that was honestly one of the biggest challenges with editing this video, is that there was no proper numerical sequence that made any sense. No date stamp that I could use to figure out any kind of sequence. So it was
a lot of tedious time.
It was a really big mess to deal with. But honestly, the reason why I never published this, or never even pursued editing it to do something with it, was the fact that I thought it was a write-off. I thought the footage was not going to be usable. Now I figured out how to stabilize some of it. As you can see, some of this wobble. I don't know how much of that's going to keep. You like that?
You said like the Grand Theft Auto
San Andreas. And actually it was
looks good.
It was a preset in Premiere, and it actually looks just like it's maybe even a little fancier than in Grand Theft Auto, because it's got a bit of a shimmer to it too, and an animation, like how it rolls on. But I liked your suggestion about including the names of the roads, and that was another in-depth.
Just add it to your workload.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of work, but it actually helped, because as I was going through each clip, which there was like well over 100 of them, that was tedious in itself, with no order, 2 days riding, 2 different cameras, and no rhyme or reason to the pile of videos, but going through to sort of analyze and to see where we were at certain times really did help me to retrace the steps and be able to figure out, like, okay, in this clip we are here, and we would have been there at this point in our journey, so it kind of helped me in a way to to piece things together, to be able to make some sort of informative addition to the video. So as you can see, the stabilization is not great.
Yeah, helmet mounting the GoPro and having no windshield or any protection from any type of wind.
Yeah. And having a camera that has zero stabilization internal.
Not only creates shaky footage, but sore necks at the end of the ride.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Oh, the position, because we were both wearing half helmets, too.
Yeah, so the wind already blows that off your head.
There was nowhere...
You're already fighting the wind trying to keep your helmet on your head.
Yeah. And there was nowhere effectively that we could have put it to get, like, you know, a full face helmet is ideal because you can put it on your chin and then you get that sort of chest level perspective, which is great. It was an epic ride, though.
Definitely fun. For a first ride.
Yeah.
It was such a good ride that we did it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, it's a great town. Wasaga Beach is a very cute town, and honestly, the ride to get from here to there is...
Wasaga Beach has the largest freshwater coastline in all the world, I believe.
I wouldn't doubt it.
That's why they get tourists down there, a lot of tourists.
Yeah, because they don't have one beach. I think they have like 5 or 6.
Yeah, but it's the longest running freshwater coastline in the world, I believe.
I would not doubt that. And it's gorgeous, too.
Little fact for everybody.
That's awesome.
Little fun fact I picked up from the restaurant owner that we were eating at.
Yes. I wish I had gotten something there. I think by the end of the first day, we were both so fried from the sun.
Yeah.
Wow, man. That was amazing.
Really good ride for sure.
I don't think I've enjoyed a meal as much as I did that one. After the heat and the riding and just the exhaustion of it.
And the quality of the meal, the portion size of the meal, the presentation of the meal with that hot plate built into your plate so you can just sear your steak perfectly.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That was
Marcello's.
fantastic.
That's right? Marcello's?
Barcelos. Yeah.
Barcelos near Wasaga Beach, somewhere up there.
Yeah, I think it's called
Stainer or
River Road East or River Road. I believe maybe River Road West.
Just Google Barcelos, Wasaga Beach area.
If you're there,
it's in between Wasaga and Blue Mountain, Collingwood.
Yeah.
Literally in the middle of that little road that connects you, and you have the lake on the right, and if you look to the left, once you get to Blue Mountain or Collingwood, you got the mountains on your left. It's a beautiful ride.
Yeah, it's about halfway between Wasaga and Collingwood.
Pretty much.
So if you're in either of those towns, go there. Yeah, that guy's awesome.
Or if you're anywhere near the vicinity, hour drive. We drive this far to go there.
As a matter of fact, we after we did this trip, I tried to recreate the route that we took with the family in the car.
Nice.
And it was great. As a matter of fact, I kind of fine-tuned it because I had a GPS, so I was able to tell where I was. And
this is kind of good footage.
Yeah.
This is sped up, obviously?
Nope. No? I did not. No, I don't really like the speeding up.
I guess on my little bike you didn't have the speed up nothing.
Well, and then also the speed up effect is just going to sort of amplify the effect of the shakiness too.
Okay, yeah.
So what is already shaky is going to become twice as shaky, twice as quickly shaken. But it was a great ride, great adventure. And miss riding with this guy. You're definitely like you and I are definitely on the same page and the same wavelength when it comes to riding. And that's
be stress free and relaxing.
Yeah.
No drama, just cruise, man.
Yeah.
Like it seriously. I like to hear that exhaust.
And you know,
those handlebars are so small.
Oh my god,
so dainty.
The bike was so small.
Yeah, I miss that thing.
I can't believe you rode that thing that far. Like I remember how bloody sore and tired that I was, and I had suspension and a windshield.
Yeah, this
was a hardtail.
It was a Suzuki Savage, a 2007 Suzuki Savage, I believe, that was custom built or tore down and custom built with a Rika kit from California. That was a hardtail bobber kit, and I think the kit was like $4,000 or $5,000 US if you were trying to buy it from them. And you needed the donor bike, which was a Suzuki Savage.
Yeah.
And you got this product. And I think it's a Harley Sportster gas tank. It's a hardtail bobber with a little wooden seat and 2 springs underneath the seat. No front fender, no windshield. In order to get the safety on the bike, I had to take my old CBR front fender from my crotch rocker from back in the day that I still had kicking around to the mechanics with the bike. And I said, here's the front fender. Just don't install it, and I'll tell anybody that pulls me over that I pulled it off. You know, and they did it. They did it. You know, they didn't want any extra money. They didn't want no bribes, no beer, nothing.
Yeah,
just good guys. I won't mention the place. I won't get them in trouble, but good guys.
You know who you are.
Yeah. But what a nice little machine. Just a 1-cylinder. It thumps sound like a helicopter coming down the road. You know? And
Yeah.
you just moved your ass to the left or to the right. And
What's up?
Stevie!
Where are we now? Remember the name of this town?
No clue. Somewhere off a twist.
We're on Guelph Line. Somewhere in the hill country. Somewhere in the, what do you call it, escarpment region.
Yeah.
That thing just shifted and turned.
Yeah, I can imagine that's the advantage of having a hardtail, right? Is that you don't have the suspension obviously for the comfort, but you don't have it for the handling must be
and
razor sharp.
And it's such a small, skinny bike.
Yeah.
It's not very heavy at all. Like, you literally can push it with one hand. It was a pretty tiny bike.
Yeah.
So and that little 1-cylinder, like, it's got go. First, second, even third gear, you got little pep. You give that on turn and you're going side you're drifting.
Yeah.
You know? I found that the first time I did that wasn't on purpose, to be honest. Like, holy crap.
Yeah.
And then catch the hang of it, and it's just fun to ride through the city. Like, you got to run errands on a Saturday morning, best bike to go do that through the city.
Yeah.
You know, or downtown Toronto where it's like really crowded and stuff. You need a little bike, but it still looks cool. It still sounds, you know, loud pipes save lives.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody hears you coming, that little thing. But definitely a little scary on the highway. Don't ever take it on the highway.
Yeah, for sure.
Can't handle that kind of speed. Just a little cruiser.
And my Boulevard, it's funny that actually the difference between the Savage and the Boulevard was not that much in terms of displacement. Like, that was a 650 and mine was like 805 cc.
Yeah, the original Savage engine, yeah.
Yeah, no, well, my Boulevard had a V-twin with 800 cc's.
Yeah.
So really, displacement wise, it was not that much different. But your bike would, like, the profile of it was so much smaller. So actually, having a slightly smaller engine but a significantly smaller bike would make a lot of sense, like power to weight ratio wise.
Like, it was fun, and that one little cylinder, like I said, thumps, and it was pretty peppy and good to drive in the city. But it made me want a bigger bike for longer trips.
For sure.
Like, you know, a soft tail or something along those lines that you can still trick out a little bit, and you got the comfort of suspension and the comfy seat, you know, on the drive. But at the same time, I would take another hardtail bobber with a bigger engine.
Yep.
And really rip it, because they are fun.
Yeah.
They are fun, and they look so sweet, I think.
Yeah, they do.
Just not good when you're riding long distance or whatever with no windshield, no fender, or rains, or like, you know, that's not fun. But we did that going to Dover, remember?
Yeah.
We encountered the rain going to Dover.
Oh god, that was horrible.
Yeah. I remember.
Front wheel kicking road water right up in your face.
Rooster tailing me. I remember I was, because the way the rain was hitting me, I was looking to the right with my eye closed. I had my half helmet on.
Yeah.
And I had my left eye open on the yellow line in the middle of the road. That's all I could see. And that's how I drove, like, halfway from Brantford to Dover.
Oh my god.
And remember, we got to the gas station, we were freaking just soaked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Soaked and freezing. Well, I think it was in October. It was Friday the 13th.
It was the last, Nothing on this trip. This trip was beautiful weather.
That weather was perfect. I don't remember. Do you remember what month this was? Because it looks like fall. It looks like the trees are starting to change.
It was when the bike thing was roughly, I think. It was late July or early August, I think.
No, I think it was later than that.
Later?
Because we had made a comment in the parking lot when we first met that this was going to be the first and last trip of the season because the season was ending. Which, I remember the heat. I remember roasting my ass off.
Yeah, it was hot as hell even in Wasaga. I remember I had to get swim shorts and everything.
Yeah.
I think it was late. Maybe it was late August, then, because the next year we went up was for the bike rally, and that bike rally was the last week. It's a long weekend.
And ironically,
it's a long weekend in August or July.
I think this might have been even September because, like, look at the trees. You can see that, like, the foliage starts to look like it's looking like early fall.
I don't know if it'd be September,
late summer,
early
fall.
We went out that early. You know what? Check the credit card bill on the hotel.
I tried looking at Expedia. It only goes back to 2018. So honestly,
you're gonna have to request it.
Yeah, honestly, this is finding this footage and finding a way to try to make something usable out of it. To me, it's like finding a treasure that I myself buried and almost completely forgot about having. And making this is just it's meant a lot to me, and that's why I couldn't wait to get together with you and join you to have your commentary along with me. It wouldn't be right.
I would never have it if it wasn't for you making the video.
So yeah, it was. You know what? It was just a really nice sort of synchronicity. If you recall, that's what I named the
cameras
bike
for this trip.
Yes.
I used the camera for this trip.
Yeah.
And the camera's been in the box ever since.
It's still
in the box.
Use of that.
It's still in the box, actually.
As you can see, if you have some stable mount for this thing, it is not actually a bad camera.
It's not a bad camera at all.
The 4K,
$180 or whatever it was at the time. Yeah, it was like $400 or $500 cheaper than the
it was
the real
significantly
one.
cheaper. I think we could have.
The Chinese knockoff worked. It's okay.
Yeah, SJ
Chinese
cam.
bike, Chinese knockoff camera. I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Hey, whatever works. Just the image stabilization was the only thing that it was lacking, which obviously in this era the GoPro was not much better actually. Now GoPro has gone like leaps and bounds since then. In 4 years, lots of things. I'm happy that I was able to get all of this. I was able to narrow down like every step of the journey. There was really very little how would you say left ambiguous. I was able to figure it all out where we were. Obviously, I planned the route, but we didn't really particularly stick to that route that well. Actually,
no, we went around here and there. But it was good.
Man,
it was a fun way.
GPS is. It might take a little bit of the fun out of the adventure of getting lost and finding your way back, but honestly, being able to pinpoint where you actually are really, really helps.
This is where we went by Camp Borden or something too, didn't we? This trip.
We did, yeah.
Or the backside of Camp Borden.
Yeah, we drove by it because I saw it on the map. I'm like, hey, that would be cool to see Camp Borden. And we drove by and past it and didn't even ever realize it was just a great big forested area, which I guess you would expect for an army base. What's an army base going to look like? It's not going to be super.
We're expected to hear
obvious.
like missiles drop or tanks crossing the road or some shit like that. Yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Oh, it was a fun trip.
Look at that weather. I don't think this is fall, Stevie.
I don't know. I can't.
Especially
August.
Especially up at Wasaga, we'd have been freezing.
Well, that's the funny thing. When we went back for that rally the next time, was it the next year or the 2 years after?
I think it was the year after.
And we went in the middle of July, and we thought, oh, this is going to be great weather like last time.
Yeah,
and
it rained on us. And
good for half the trip. The way there was great, but
way back rocked us.
Oh my god, that's something I want to invest in. Good riding gear, like proper, weatherproof. Good for cold, good for hot, good for wet.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I don't really want to be riding in the wet.
No.
But sometimes you get
No,
caught.
but that's the thing, right? If you're out in the middle of nowhere, what are you going to do?
We had to go to Walmart and buy wetsuits. That ended up melting on our exhaust. But
Yep.
we got halfway home, somewhat dry, I guess.
Yeah, I remember you got a rain suit, and I got a poncho.
Oh yeah, poncho. Yeah.
I couldn't find a rain suit to fit my fat ass, so.
See my exhaust right there?
Yep.
My rain suit melted on that.
Yeah.
So did part of my leg.
And part of your backpack.
Right there. Oh, my backpack on the tire, yeah. I like that paint job. Like, if I had kept that bike out, I got to repaint it like that.
Looking color.
I would have got like a silver flake done through it, though. Like, silver flake.
Absolutely.
I kind of wish I never sold it, but at the same time, I wasn't riding it.
Yeah.
I was paying insurance, and it was just sitting there. And, it's,
yeah.
my physical condition from work.
Yeah.
And my back couldn't handle long rides on this no more.
I would think riding that for you would be the worst thing, and not riding it would be the worst thing for it, right? So.
So it went.
Well, I'm very glad at least we have this memory for posterity at least.
And there's a couple of things like when they put the tank on, the tank wasn't mounted perfectly centered. And when I work with straight lines and all that stuff, and I was like, oh
and
my
your
God.
eye can see that.
Yeah. So it would have to be recut off and then re-welded on or something.
All right. I'll take a bit of a break here and just check and make sure that we're. For sure. Yeah. Yeah, I just made this to post for your sake and for my sake, and just for the memories in the future.
It's perfect.
Yeah. There's no way in hell anybody's gonna watch 2 hours of this though. So
I will. My son probably will later on in life.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, honestly, I'm going back to the videos that I made years ago, and I'm so glad that I did. Every little tidbit of effort that I put into it, it's just paid off so much. You know, you don't realize it at the time when you watch something that you've captured the day of or a couple weeks before or whatever. When you see it from 4 or 5 years ago, especially with kids, seeing how the kids looked and sounded, and you know, having that memory is just absolutely cherished. But yeah, this is uncut. This is I love for all the effort that I've put on it. It's not even yet edited, so I would say it's been laid out in a sensible order. So at least we can watch it, we can make comments on it, and enjoy the memory. Oh, I guess I should roll the film, eh?
Hit it. Alright, camera action.
Yeah, it was a great
More
ride.
riders.
Great
More
weather.
riders, more riders.
Yeah, lots of riders. We saw a lot of bikes on that trip. Being that it was that late in the year, everybody must have been feeling the same way.
I like Mississauga Road.
Yeah. Yeah, we were on Mississauga Road for a very short time. Like, we took a left, and then we took a right. And I think pretty much the Mississauga Road goes through here.
Yep.
And as a matter of fact, I think this is it, and then I think that one off to the left or something like that. It continues through, but that was Mississauga Road, and then now this is Forks of the Credit Road. So I think
Forks of the Credit, beautiful, except for the speed bumps they added.
Yeah.
Speed bumps and cops, eh? We'll see how many we see here.
I think there was only one police cruiser. I think that's Mississauga Road.
The one time we went through, did we go 2 times through here or once? I thought the one time it was like almost every turn there was a cruiser parked behind the thing. There's like 2 cruisers and 3 sets of speed bumps. I remember that.
There were a lot of speed bumps, and there were the rolling speed bumps too, the slow pokes that you get stuck behind. You can't pass. It's a solid line, and there's too many curves and elevation changes you wouldn't want to pass. But
I remember when I was a teenager and moved to Orangeville for a little bit.
Yeah.
Everybody talked, and not only talked, but they went with their bikes. There was a Ducati club.
Okay.
That they talked about going through Hockley Valley, going through Forks of the Credit, the same roads we went.
Yeah.
And saying it's just amazing to like go at them like you're racing.
Yeah.
And hit those turns, you know, those hairpin turns.
It's a nice
and
road.
Even the tuner cars and stuff, the car clubs went through there. You know, it's beautiful to drive on, but not when you got speed bumps there. Now you can't do nothing.
Yeah.
But I understand why. Like, obviously, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Public road. You know,
and touristy area where there could hypothetically be people like crossing the road at any point.
There's always been lots of tourists that go there.
Yeah, and it's a provincial park, Forks of the Credit.
Yeah,
of which we don't really see much of the park itself. Like, it's sort of off to the left for the most of it. We're driving parallel to it.
Yeah, there's a big hockey ranch up the street from that too.
Neat.
I remember back in the day, it's pretty cool. A pancake house. It used to be there. It used to have the best pancakes. There's first set of speed bumps.
Yeah.
Good thing we're on bikes right through the middle, buddy.
Easy enough to avoid. This curve, this like hairpin, freaked me out at that point.
Yeah.
Like,
when you start going down like this.
I took it very, very like creepingly slowly. Because the sign said 10 kilometers. I had a car in front of me as well, but I remember thinking like, holy shit, this is like the tightest
down
turn.
And sharp.
Yeah.
Downhill and sharp. Yeah.
A combination of both. It was a lot to deal with, and I had never encountered anything like that for newbies. But amazing. Wow, what a beautiful drive. I edited it. I layered them on together. You'll see your footage. I'm gonna get to this bridge here, and the bridge I used as a marker to put your clip in. Now, see, this was your side.
Oh, the same road. Oh, yeah. The same thing. Oh,
same turn.
I probably
see, there's people.
Oh, right there. Yeah.
There's people potentially crossing the road.
Yeah.
Like I just said. Yeah, I'm all for acting in the safety of others and yourself.
100%.
I think that
as long as you can still have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, and that's kind of what was great about those bikes, and great about even the bike that I have now, is that it's not fast, you know. So it's like you can really ring on it.
Yeah.
You ring its neck and you're still not even speeding.
See, my little one in the city, you'd be speeding because like with 50,
Yeah.
50, 60 clicks in the city, and you're
Yeah.
well, that's about it.
Yeah.
And you're making a lot of noise.
I think at this point we got kind of separated. I don't know why. That was, in hindsight, like I would never do that now. Like I wouldn't, if I was riding with you or anyone else, I would never just.
I remember a couple of times I might have pulled away and like cranked it just to feel extra wind in my face, you know.
Yeah.
But never like pulled away and got away. I don't think.
Yeah, and I think what
Not
happened
on purpose,
is
anyways.
no, exactly, and me too. Honestly, it's a discipline that comes with experience.
You know that movie Top Gun?
Yeah.
You don't need experience riding. You got to watch the movie Top Gun. You never leave your wingman.
Yeah. Exactly. Well,
never leave your wingman. Tom Cruise, Maverick. Always
that's
leaving his
something
wingman.
that I totally live by now. Like if I'm riding with someone, I will pull over and wait. You know what? You're together,
especially on a bike.
Yeah.
Because you don't know why all of a sudden they're not behind you.
Yes, exactly.
They broke down, flat tire,
Something
got clipped.
Yeah.
God forbid.
Yeah,
but, you know,
exactly.
You never know.
Yeah.
There's always the buddy system.
Yeah. Yeah, you're there. You're with each other to keep an eye on each other as well as to have fun.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's
It's just like mountain biking. You don't, I know you go mountain biking by yourself, but it's sometimes better to go with two people when you're going deep in the bush. You know,
Exactly.
So you have a wipeout. Yeah. You can't get back on your bike or get out. It's nice to have that reassurance.
Absolutely. And I think what happened is some car pulled out, like we were not tight on each other, and somebody pulled out
in between us.
Yeah, see, this is where I actually did do when I realized that, you know.
Yeah.
I think I remember thinking that, okay, you're not far behind me. I could see you around corners at this point.
Yeah.
Behind the truck.
Well, it's not like that. You could go very far. It's one lane each way.
Exactly.
You're either going forward or backwards.
Yeah.
So I'd eventually catch you.
Yeah. And I don't know. I was maybe hoping that the guy. I remember thinking the guy in the red car, if he could speed his ass up, it would be great. But once I realized that wasn't about to happen, that there was no brakes coming.
Is there footage of the country roads where we took up 2 lanes?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Riding free.
Yeah. That was
safe spot to do that in.
On the way back. Yeah, that was like one of those country highways that sort of turned.
Deserted country highways that barely anybody's on.
Well, the country highway actually turned, and like to stay on that road, you actually had to take a right, and we went straight. So the other side of the road was just like, kind of like just a farm road. Like there was hardly any cars on it.
That was perfect.
It was a great time. Honestly, I can't wait to do it again.
Giving me the itch again.
Oh man!
I almost bought another bike this summer.
Yeah.
And you know what I thought? I thought this week actually. I just reminded myself now. What's it called? The dealership? Let's see if it's still there tomorrow.
Which one was it?
The Harley.
Yeah.
In Paris. It was a 1990 something or 90 or something.
Oh, the Sportster.
An older one.
Yeah.
But just already done up.
Yeah.
Perfect to go. If the riding position is good.
Yeah. That's the key. That's the key, is to go and sit. You can, no matter how beautiful or how cool or anything.
That riding position right there.
Yeah.
Might look really tough and cool, but it's a bitch for that long of a drive. But and the other thing too, like I didn't have any front pegs, so like in order to stick out my legs, I'd have to kick out my feet off my controls and have like my heels or ankles digging in.
Yeah.
But we still made it work, bro.
Yeah, well, I'm amazed that you did. I'm amazed that you were able to go that far on a little hardtail like that. So, I mean...
Oh, the bike goes, you go.
That's the spirit. But, I mean, honestly, that being said, if you can ride that far on that little thing, you with a comfortable bike, you're going to go everywhere.
And it'd be faster, too, probably get quicker.
Yeah.
Well, my bike could only go so fast anyways to begin with. So
yeah. Mine, too.
Like I could push 100 kilometers an hour, but I didn't want to.
Yeah. I think
80 is a nice speed.
My bike was, like, revved right out at 120. It was not fast.
Where over here? Is this
10.
Oh, 10 in Ontario. Oh, the other one's
yeah.
Valley.
Yeah.
Hockley Valley Road.
Yeah, I didn't really record. Neither of us really recorded anything in Orangeville.
Not much to see. Well, when I left it, there was 23,000 people. It's been built up since then, but
Yeah.
there's an extra Walmart and I think a Best Buy, and you're good.
When you're out in the wilderness there, it seems like it's one of the bigger civilized buildups, but it's really not much.
Yeah, there's not much compared to Shelburne and all those other places.
Yeah.
And more guys on bikes. Gotta give them the Wave,
Of course.
the world-renowned Wave bikes,
Man.
recognized bikes. It's almost like a Jeep thing, you know.
Oh yeah, well, I think it's even better than a Jeep thing. It's like, hey, you're out doing your absolute favorite thing in the world, and I am out doing my absolute favorite thing in the world. So, and on a beautiful day, there's nothing better.
It's gorgeous.
It is.
Green pastures, nice.
Yeah,
That's a nice road.
that is.
Hockley Valley's beautiful.
Yeah,
And if you get a chance, Hockley Valley Resort's pretty nice. Nice to stay at. Yeah, nice little spa there. Wintertime, they got the skiing and stuff.
really.
It wasn't bad.
That's awesome. Yeah, this was the best road. This is if any that I would go just to see again. This is the like it's not too far from home.
Yeah.
Like it's
They're nicely paved.
yeah.
They're long, winding roads.
Yeah, sweeper after sweeper.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not like tight hairpins like Fork of the Cry. Just
No,
like nice
that's
like you just cruise and wind and sway back and forth.
This is the road
And,
actually.
and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, the Forks is definitely an exciting ride, but you can't push it.
And Hockley Valley Road, it's a busy road, but it's not. You don't have the tourists that you have on Forks of the Credit.
That's right.
And it's a busy road at times, yes, but usually, like when you go riding on weekends and stuff, it's look, there's nothing here. A few bikes go back and forth, and that's it.
I don't remember I think we went during the week.
It
too.
might have been during the week.
I don't think this was like if you see Wasaga Beach once we get there, it's not
I think
busy.
it was during the week we went.
Yeah, it was like a Wednesday or something. So that honestly, it's weekday riding is the best. Like I usually on weekends I go out with the kids and bring the family out places. So I usually do most of my riding during the week, and honestly, it's the best because you don't see many bikes, unfortunately, which I honestly kind of miss if I don't see other riders.
Yeah.
I feel like
you're solo.
Yeah, which is fine too.
Lone
but
rider.
there's usually a lot less traffic, which is definitely a plus. Like this looks very quiet to me. This looks like
My favorite time to ride, to be honest, was early morning.
yeah.
Early morning as the sun's rising, or
Yeah.
the sun's just got up. It's not too hot, not too cold, like in the summer.
Yeah.
And you go for a nice cruise down at Dover, or by a lake somewhere or something, and just have a smoke by the water and cruise your way back.
Yeah.
And it's a good start to the day.
I'm very happy to say that I've been doing quite a lot of that this year. Most of my riding has been quite early morning. I have not yet ridden once at night this year.
You've been doing that Cam H challenge.
Yes,
where
the
you have to get
sunrise
up
challenge.
for the sunrise challenge.
That was
what a beautiful
honestly,
opportunity to ride your bike and promote a good cause.
Yes, exactly.
Or
well,
support a good cause.
I mean, from what I understood, they said you should get up and do something positive or do something to start your day out on a positive bent. And honestly, there was nothing more meditative. I mean, I don't do yoga, but definitely I find riding to be meditative. So
I've never had a bad ride.
No, exactly.
I've never gone riding and been pissed off I was riding.
Mm-hmm.
I've been pissed off, gone riding, and felt 10 times better after I hit the throttle a couple of times and
exactly
got that out of my exhaust system, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
And then you just cruise, or you're like high strung and you go ride till you're tired, and then you're just tired and you go to bed and you sleep and there's no
wonderful.
There's no nothing. I've never had a bad time on a bike or a bad feeling coming off a bike, or why I take that ride ever. It doesn't matter if we got rained on or not.
Yeah.
It's
still glad
always
you did
therapeutic. It's always soothing. It's always worth it.
Yeah.
Always. At least for me, anyways. Never had it the other way.
Absolutely. It's like the laser focus that you have. I think it gives you a higher level of consciousness. Actually, you become like in a relaxed state, but you're also like hyper aware because of the amount of stimuli that you're processing and the potential dangers of not paying attention. You have to be very sharp, but at the same time very like relaxed.
Yep.
You know, because if you're tense, then you're not going to enjoy yourself, and you're honestly not in any better position if you're tensed up to react to a situation. Like,
you gotta just relax and be alert at the same time, but in a
which is
very
exactly
relaxed
what
state.
you're supposed to achieve with meditation too.
And it's for the newbie riders. It's a single lane each way, with a middle line, and then you got your shoulder. And I was just noticing some of my riding there. I went from the middle lane, then I went over to the white line, then I rode the middle for a bit. Like right now, I'll see it.
Yeah.
Your best position right here is in the middle line, correct? Because on the shoulder, you don't know if you got dust or whatever or sand because you're in the wild.
Horrible, bumpy,
You know what I mean?
dirty.
In the middle, you got all the oil spills or the leaks from normal cars, right? So that's slippery for you.
Right
So-
in the middle of the lane, so,
so
you
you
should be
usually-
hugging the line. Where
hugging that line right
Yeah.
right there.
yeah, on,
You
a,
know,
on a 2-lane
and
road,
then
you
that
should
guy
be.
pulling out, I'm already in the middle. You know, the only thing is if a big truck comes over here, I usually move over.
Yeah,
Just I don't like that wind tunnel, you know,
Yeah.
nowadays. But seeing how I like veered, it goes to show you the
Yeah.
experience that I didn't have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you learn later, you learn quick.
Yeah.
You learn quick when you're riding that white line and you hit a patch of dust
Oh,
or,
that's
or
horrible.
sand or whatever. You know, it's different.
yeah,
So, but right there is perfect. I think.
yeah, and riding staggered is the way to go. Obviously,
if you're in groups or with people, 100%.
you have to be staggered, and whoever is leading on a 2-lane, you should be blocking against the middle line.
If you get a chance to ride side by side, I love riding side by side. But I
Yeah.
do. I love. I get if it's a big
And
group.
we
for
did a fair bit of it.
for safety or whatever. I understand the staggered or whatever.
Yeah,
But like if you got a couple guys, whatever, and you guys want to take over the road, and just
Yes.
side by side, like
yeah. I mean, I guess it's side by side is better than single file right in front of each other, because the
Yeah.
chances of you swerving to avoid something and bumping into each other side by side is very low.
Well-
The chance of you rear-ending someone if they hit the brakes really fast and they're right in front of you, that is a very
I
real
wouldn't side by
possibility.
side at just anybody either. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Because you don't know what that guy's gonna do.
Yeah.
So if I'm coming up beside you, I don't know if you
Yeah.
thought you were gonna swerve over or whatever, but like,
Yeah.
like I had no problem pulling up beside with you.
Yeah.
I wasn't too worried about
Awareness
you're
is the
cautious,
key.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
cautious of what you're doing or what you're not
Then
doing.
you match
and what's
throttles
around you.
and-
I think I did notice a few times when I pulled up, you tried to go beside you, pulled away or fell back because I don't know if it made you uncomfortable or you just thought staggered. But I was just trying to ride.
I think
We're taking over the road
to
right
be
now.
honest
me and
with you,
you know?
you and I, like when we ride, you're a pretty playful rider,
I love it.
which I notice other people are more serious, and it's
I'm playful, but I'm not retarded.
No,
you know,
yeah, by
for
no
lack
means.
of a better word,
Yeah,
I'm not like gonna suicidal put myself in a position where I'm
No, of course.
in harm's way.
of course no. I meant
You know?
playful as in the best possible sense, like.
But yeah,
When I would
I
see
do
you-
S's down the lane.
When
I
I would-
sway from
yeah.
line to line. Yeah, like I try.
When I would see you pulling up beside me, I'd be like, "Oh, okay, you want to go? Let's go."
Yeah.
And then I'd boogie and
And like sometimes, I want to push you and I want to see you go.
Yeah.
You know, because at times, like,
And vice
like
versa,
you,
yeah.
you were always either watching my ass right here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or it was like, but I wanted like, let's go.
Yeah.
Your bike's bigger engine. Go. I want to see this go a bit more. You know.
you looked
And
you
egg
looked
you on
very
a little bit.
surprisingly you looked very relaxed.
I was
on
relaxed.
that.
To be honest, I was relaxed because the bike is not a hard bike to handle.
Yeah.
I wasn't scared of the bike.
Like,
it wasn't
you had
like my
your
CBR
feet-
900 when I first started. And this is my
yeah.
second bike actually.
That's kind of a scary
Second-
for a first bike.
Yeah, the CBR 900, but I didn't have it too long, and I didn't ride it too much.
Yeah.
So technically, this was, and I never did went on big rides like this one.
Yeah.
So technically, this was my de-virginizing bike.
Yeah. This was the
for-
first
for
bike
long-
you
for
lived
long
with.
rides. Yeah, that
Traveled
it was
with.
like a daily. It was
Yeah.
the other bike I rode to work to Hamilton back and forth. But it wasn't like I didn't ride it like this one,
Yeah.
and it was a lot more scarier. So this one was very, very easy to handle.
Yeah.
You had power at the throttle when you needed it, or if you downshifted if you needed to.
Yeah.
It wasn't like too crazy, and you could be relaxed. There was nothing really. And then look at the scenario we're in. Like how much stress do
There's
you
really
have over here?
really no need to hurry or worry.
Yeah.
It was just
You're not on the
fantastic.
401 with
Yeah.
transport trucks or any of that crap.
Yeah,
You know?
being light like it was, the wind off the transport trucks would definitely shake you
Oh,
up.
I feel it even when there's only one that goes by me, right?
Yeah.
If I'm riding right there where I am now, and the wind and that truck comes and I don't move.
Yeah.
A, it scares the shit out of you because you're like, I might lose a leg or a limb because that guy's coming really close to me.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me. And secondly, that wind. But I found too, between two trucks is even worse.
Oh, for sure it is. Yeah.
Yeah. And then on my CBR, I learned that when you have your jacket, you either have your jacket done up all the way.
Yeah.
Or you sit on your jacket
Or
tuck it away, because if you try to be cool, Mr. Suave, and just have a couple buttons undone because it's kind of hot out and you're topless underneath and you want to cruise on your CBR 900RR thinking you're the shit, but you're a rookie rider. Yeah, you start parachuting really quickly when you hit a little bit of speed.
Yeah.
And you almost sail off your bike.
Oh yeah.
Then you got to pull over like a whatever, like a loser. And look real cool, taking off your jacket or zipping it back up.
Yeah,
but you live and learn. That's part of the adventure. As long as you do it safely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't want anything loose in the wind. That's a bad news.
And like thinking back on all my riding that I've done, which isn't like crazy amount, but it's enough to like base an opinion.
Yeah.
I've never myself put myself in a position where I was going to get into an accident.
Yeah, that's good.
I've had other people put me in a position where I could have got clipped. You know what I mean? So, like, you definitely have to be aware of your surroundings.
100%.
Because it's not you that's the problem.
Yeah.
It's everybody else around you that could be the problem.
That's right.
Grandma Jones that can't see over her steering wheel, is going to get her cigarettes and scratch tickets, and there you are. And the other thing, too, I don't care what instructors say or whatever, loud pipes are amazing. Not only for sound and for showing off and for whatever, but people hear you. On my little bike is, you don't see it.
Yeah.
It's little.
Yeah.
It's very little. You don't see it, but you definitely hear it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody saw me for sure because they heard me before they saw me.
That was, you know what? That exhaust riding behind you with that thing, it honestly kind of sounded like a hammer hitting the helmet over and over again.
Yeah, it's
ping, 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 ping.
That's a cylinder hitting.
Yeah.
It's a reverse short cone exhaust, I think it's called. So
looked great, sounded awesome.
It's a good little thumper bike. Like, it looks nice, but look, it needs a fatter tire on the back.
Yeah,
needs a bigger engine. You know what I mean?
A seat with some cushion.
Needs to be a bigger, like, even a hardtail bobber, just bigger.
Yeah. Well, if you notice that, like, most of the hardtail choppers that they make are bikes that not necessarily even bigger than this to start with.
Yeah.
Like Yamaha 400s, you know, but they do definitely have a more cushioned seat. Like one of those, you know,
me and my what do they call it? Label queens or name queens or something.
Yeah,
it'd have to be a Harley hardtail.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know what I mean? Take like a fat boy or whatever and like convert it or something.
Hey man, whatever you like. I like.
I mean, I can afford what I like.
No,
it's just what I like, right?
Me too.
But that's the thing that I'm realizing too. Like, just because something you like. Don't let not being able to get something you like prevent you from doing something you love.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because I haven't been riding the last couple of years, due to back problems and due to not having time because of work. But now, like, I had time this year. I could have ridden around, and I didn't buy a bike. I held off looking for the right bike because it had to be a certain brand, had to be a certain, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't like wasting money, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I don't like replacing stuff. Like, if I like it, I want to keep it.
Yeah, for sure.
But like the Kawasaki Vulcans are beautiful bikes.
Yeah.
And you can get on one of those pretty cheap and be riding, enjoying Hockley Valley instead of waiting for a $30,000 Harley to fall in your lap.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
just what it is.
That's been my philosophy too. I love Harley Davidson. It's
just gotta be realistic.
I you know what, I used to think, it's probably just a bunch of hype, but honestly, I test drove a couple new ones, and it's they're, you get what you pay for. If you buy
yes,
you buy a $10,000 Harley, you're probably going to have inheriting some issues, but a brand new one, my God, they are sweet. There's a reason why
again,
they're a premium brand.
Reliability and longevity, a Japanese bike blows it out of the water.
Possibly, but I think they've come a long way. Yeah, I think the Milwaukee 8 is pretty fantastic. But it hasn't been out long enough to really know long term.
Yeah. You know what I like too. I seen it the other day. Is the Indian brand.
Yeah.
Indian brand motors. Their new
They're
bikes
beautiful.
are beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I love the old bikes. The old school Indian original bike, with the leather seat and the leather bags and like
the big swoopy fender.
Just beautiful. I love that. That's why I like the Softail Deluxe.
Yeah.
I like that low rider look on the bike.
Yeah.
Oh, here's our little spot.
Yeah.
This is the best butter tarts.
Oh my God, were they
the best homemade? This changed. This has been modernized and made more like commercialized.
Oh, really?
For business. Because before, like, it wasn't that big. It was like literally like a little hut.
Yeah.
House where they made everything, but they still.
It was nice inside though.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's great.
Note to self going forward with the camera is definitely take a more active approach to, actually showing inside. Like, I know I was very road focused and ride focused and everything like that.
But you gotta think this is our first one. It's the first time we tried the GoPros at all. Like, I never used a camera like this before. Had you?
Yeah, briefly. Yeah, I had, but not as much as I have now.
And not for this long, and not like you know what I mean. Like, to do a trip this long and actually have this much footage is crazy.
It is,
and this much usable footage, to be honest.
Yeah, there's a lot of the stuff that I think I can probably cut some of. Like, this has been fixed.
Not a cloud in the sky. Not to cut you off, but not a cloud in the sky. Look at that.
Yeah. This day, and the funny thing I noticed about day one, and I remember that, is that I never put my sunglasses on, and I felt like an absolute tool later because my eyes were killing me. It was bright and sunny and beautiful, but like,
See, with the half helmet, like the whatever they call them, half helmets, right?
Yeah.
Like, I tried to always wear sunglasses
for sure.
And I probably should have worn safety glasses more than sunglasses.
Well, yeah, I have
or real riding glasses.
Yeah,
because I had no front fender, no windshield, so bugs hurt a lot more.
Yeah,
you don't want them in your face.
Well, no, you have to protect your eyes. You have to, and even having glasses on is not even good enough. Like, I rode to Godrich the other day, and it was horrible. At some points, like the trucks that you'd be following on a country highway,
stones,
their back tire would sort of kick up against the gravel and just fling it up in your face, and at any speed that feels like sandpaper on your face, which was stupid of me because I used to ride half helmet with a windshield, and taking the windshield off, I should have put the full face helmet on.
No windshield looks cool and all, but what I started doing after, like, this is our first ride, you see me in probably like designer sunglasses, trying to look cool and like
chain and t-shirt, and no gloves, ripped jeans,
chain and t-shirt, whatever. Like,
you looked like you're a stylish guy.
That's fine, but the sunglasses, weren't really. If I had a stone hit me, it wouldn't have protected shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And after this trip, I started riding with safety glasses on.
Yeah.
But I just got a couple. I just went to Home Depot, I think it was, and I got a couple pair that were tinted, and a couple pair that were clear. So even during the day when I normally wouldn't wear anything, no gloves, no nothing, just my helmet and a t-shirt or a tank top, I would wear my clear safety glasses.
Yeah.
Because without the fender and without the windshield, like I said, it was just crazy.
You never know what's gonna hit you in the face.
So looking cool is one thing, but safety trumps looking cool every time,
Well, it's interesting in states where helmets are optional. The one stipulation is that you have to have eye protection, which I wear glasses, so I'm always having eye protection on. But having glasses, like you say, that actually are contoured, shatterproof, absolutely, which your good eyeglasses should be anyways, but having something that contours to your face a little bit, so not only does it protect your eye, but it also protects it keeps the wind out of your eye, which really, really tires you out when your eyes get dry from the wind. Oh my god!
I don't remember the brand of sunglasses that they were, but they were construction sunglasses from Home Depot.
Yeah,
and they had like a foam padding, a rubber padding on the inside.
Oh, perfect!
And they fit so perfect, and they looked cool. And they had them in they were clear ones, like clear lenses with orange. Yeah. Black,
tint.
They had a couple different colors even for the side band.
Yellow ones for nighttime, probably.
And they were pretty sweet.
Yeah,
they were pretty sweet.
That is perfect with padding too. That's nice.
They were like $14-15 a pair. I spent $60. I got 4 pairs.
That's awesome. Like old school aviators, eh?
Yeah.
I miss riding. I can't wait to get my bike fixed. Forks or definitely showing their age. The fork springs are gone. Like I began to notice it a lot more.
You're not on the same bike though.
Not this one, no.
You are not on this one anymore.
No.
This one was what? A Suzuki
Boulevard C50T,
which was an 800
which was
engine?
805 cc's. Yeah.
And what are you riding now?
I have a Vulcan Nomad 1600.
Ooh, yeah, it's the Cowie.
Yeah, Kawasaki. Team Green.
And comparing the two, right? Obviously, you've ridden enough on the new one. To have a good opinion. Which one would you pick?
Oh, the one I have now for sure. No doubt.
Is it comparing apples and apples or no?
It's comparing apples to bigger apples. To be honest, like the style,
bigger engine in the new one.
Bigger engine, bigger chassis. Because of the bigger engine, it's also a bigger chassis.
If you had the same Boulevard to the same Vulcan you have now, would you still take Kawasaki over Suzuki?
Well, I never tried riding the Boulevard with the 1500cc. From what it looked like, because of the bigger engine, it also had a bigger chassis as well, so it would have been more comparable apples to apples. Like the C90 was a 1500cc.
As far as looks wise,
to be honest, I still do like the Boulevard. Like the
Kawasaki?
Boulevard was modeled after the Softail Deluxe. So if you notice that it's got like the flared fenders, like on the front of the fender it flared up, and on the back of the fender it flared up, and it had a particular style that I feel like the Vulcan is kind of downplayed, but the Vulcan has its own unique style too, with its like factory windshield, which is old man looking windshield, but really works. And honestly, so I would say the Boulevard was modeled after a Softail Deluxe. The Vulcan is modeled after a Road King.
Yes.
So
I would have to agree with those.
I test drove a couple Road Kings. I was actually thinking to buy one before I bought the Vulcan, and the Vulcan felt, even the throttle response felt exactly the same.
I never considered a Road King until my one farmer buddy got one. I think he paid $16,000 for a used one.
Yeah.
And he made it a single headlight at the front. I think they have a headlight and a couple other things.
Single, yeah.
But there's a couple little side ones, isn't there, on there? So he removed all that.
Oh, sweet.
I made it just one.
With the LED turns inside of the main headlight.
He made it a badass bike.
Yeah, they are.
Badass bike. And when I saw that, I was like, what is that? This is a Road King. What?
Have you seen Shade Tree Surgeon?
Which one?
Shade Tree Surgeon. He's a YouTube channel. Great channel. I've been following since like early riding days. But he's got a Road King 131 that they're actually raffling for charity.
Oh, it's crazy.
Oh, it is. It does look. It looks incredible. Have you heard about the 131? Like,
no.
Fully modded out Milwaukee 8 comes up to being 100. Or no, sorry. You know what? It's not a modded. It's actually it's a crate engine from Harley. I take it back. That's incorrect. It's a crate engine that you get specifically. So you can't build a Milwaukee 8 up that much to that degree. I think with all the stage 4 it comes to like 121 or something, or 124 maybe cubic inch.
Oh, cubic inch.
No, cubic inches. Oh, horsepower. Oh my god. The 131 seems like, with all the air intake and tuned exhaust and everything, it looks like it must be like close to 200 horsepower.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Which, and don't quote me on that. I'm gonna say, if I recall correctly, which I probably don't, I think it's like 160 or 165. Which is, you know what, honestly,
that's a lot of power.
The V-Rod Night Rod that I rode the other day, the guy who sold it, the seller that my friend bought it from, said that it was dying out at 125, and I believe that. Like, it's got a, horsepower is always a deceptive number anyways, right? So the higher the engine revs, generally the peak horsepower is found almost near the top of the rev range, which is not that practical unless it's a bike that you're going to be, ringing out completely.
Well, you have to a couple times.
Well,
you got to see what your bike's got.
I'm not
in a controlled environment, securely, safely, with your safety goggles on and full face helmet.
Yeah,
But
I'm
have
sure
to test up what it's got, or what you have,
from my limited riding experience on the new Harleys, I'm sure that they would, reach several times the speed limit.
Like, I by no means, like, to be honest, I've never even attempted a wheelie.
No.
It's not something like I really care to do.
Me neither.
Maybe back in the young days, I would have like really wanted to do that, but like
Yeah.
that to me just seems like ruining my bike possibly.
Yeah, you screw up your front bearing.
Yeah,
pretty
it's,
quick.
It's not like something I really care to do, but cranking my throttle
Yeah,
and seeing
going
seeing
fast.
what my bike can do,
Yeah,
or when who's gonna tap out first, my
Yeah.
bike or me, you know? And usually I tap out.
Yeah.
Almost 9 out of 10 times I tap out.
Yeah.
Because it gets a little quick.
Oh, it's a sign you have a good machine. That if you don't feel any hesitation and you don't feel like, oh my god, this thing is gonna rattle itself apart, that's a good sign.
Well, that's the thing. So I was gonna say, my little one that I'm riding here, going full speed, it really wasn't like too scary.
Yes.
But no windshield, no fender, and being that small,
Yeah.
you blow everywhere.
Yeah.
And it vibrates like crazy, you know. And you don't really want to be doing it for too long because like that bike can't handle.
Yeah.
You know, it's not made for that.
Well, and honestly, that's why what you said before is I totally believe in. In terms of don't let what seems like an impossible dream keep you from actually just doing the thing. And that's been my approach. Like, I have not spent a great deal of money on motorcycles. Like I've owned this is my second that I own now, and I've gotten a great price on both. I determined pretty like specifically what I wanted. I knew what I wanted. I went and sat at dealerships and sat on the bikes to see how they felt, and could tell that would be good for me, and found a good deal. And I mean, to be honest with you, I think driving a little bit old and a little bit clapped out bike is kind of part of the excitement.
I've only owned 2 bikes so far.
Yeah.
And the first one, like I said, was a 1999 Honda CBR 900RR. Beauty of a bike.
Yeah.
I found it in Kingston.
Wow.
I was actually going to pick up a Kawasaki ZX9, Ninja, in Toronto.
Yeah.
And I was on the highway, stuck in traffic in Mississauga, and he was looking still for bikes for me.
Yeah.
And he goes, bro, there's a 900RR for like $2,200 or something.
Yeah.
In low kilometers in Kingston. And I'm like, call him up.
Yeah.
I called him up, and he goes, if you come today, $1,600 best price. And I go, I'm not halfway there, but I'm already in Mississauga. I'm gonna keep passing Toronto. I'd rather that Honda CBR over 900 over the ZX7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Team Red.
Drove all the way to Kingston. Got there, it was like 10:30 at night.
That's amazing.
I didn't even have my license yet. Is a very experienced motorcycle rider.
Yeah.
Probably one of his best qualities is the fact that he is phenomenal on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And has no fear.
Yeah.
And he took my bike for a rip around the block, and all you could hear was it like just winding up.
Yeah.
And he came back and he goes, bro, this is a solid bike.
Yeah.
So what we did was excuse me, we made a deal, or I made a deal with the guy, that I would take the bike plated, and I would drive my car. I was in a Volvo V70 Estate back then.
Yeah.
Fast little vehicle, or fast station wagon, pretty much.
Yeah.
Very nicely made by Volvo, and
Yeah.
we left Kingston at probably 11:30 midnight.
Yeah.
Okay. Paid the guy, took the ownership, took the bike with his plates, and we drove back to Ontario. We didn't stop except for gas. Okay, and we came back, and we were on the coming into Toronto. What is that? Is that the 401? Yeah, it's the 401. Yeah. And just before like you get into Toronto, there's those buildings on the right that are all lit up at night and look blue or purple. Right around there was a red Nissan GTR with 2 white stripes. Nice. And there's like 4 lanes there. Okay.
Yeah.
He's playing with the bike and like whatever, and I'm behind, and I see beside the guy in the GTR side by side.
Yeah.
And he's talking to him. Like his hand, he's going like this, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like, I gotta speed up. Something's going on. Like, what's going, you know? And all of a sudden, both of them just gear down and go. And that GTR, like it had claws, gripped into the concrete, the asphalt, and it freaking throttled forward so fast.
No doubt.
At the same time, downshifted, tucked under that little windshield, and snapped that bike. It was neck and neck. I don't think anyone ever took the lead. My little Volvo, I had a bearing or a ball joint or something that needed to be replaced. I was replacing it that week. I hit 180 kilometers an hour in my car, trying to catch them, and I couldn't catch them.
Yeah.
They were gone.
Yeah.
When he looked down at the speedometer, he pooped his pants. That he was like around 260.
Yeah.
And the GTR, when I caught up to them, the GTR had slowed down, and he had slowed down. The GTR had his four-ways on and gave him 2 thumbs up out the window. You know what I mean? And I was like, wow. And when we got back, we were like, there was no leaks on the bike.
Yeah.
The bike took all of that. No, nothing. The whole way back. And for $1,600, I had a solid bike.
That's a Honda for you.
Beautiful, beautiful bike. Too much power for a newbie, to be honest.
Oh, for sure. 900cc is a lot.
The scariest part was on turns because I didn't trust myself.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if I could trust the bike to give it the throttle that I probably should be giving it on the turns.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was my CBR.